Let's talk some Louisiana Downs for Monday, July the 17th. And like always, we're going to dive into those daily racing form past performances. You can get daily racing form past performances for free when you are a DRF Bets member. And you'll actually be able to get a bunch of free stuff right away when you sign up for DRF Bets right off the bat. Use that promo code WINNING and you'll get a $10 free bet. Then when you deposit, you want to do the number 250 because that's the max you can do. They'll match all the way up to that. So your 250 turns into 500 plus the 10 for the registration bet. So now all of a sudden you got $510 to start with, and you have 10 free formulator past performances. Then every time you wager 50, boom, you get another credit. So if you're wagering a lot, you're not going to have to be paying for past performances. You'll be able to use the same past performances that I'm going to show you right here in just a minute with a DRF formulator, where you can look at the charts, you can look at the race replays, you can look at the pedigree information, trainer statistics, anything you need there with DRF.com. So we're going to dive into Monday. I'm going to look at races 2 and 4 for Monday as we pull up the past performances. Let's dive into the Monday racing at Louisiana. And I've got an 8-1 shot and a 10-1 shot on the morning line. So hopefully we can get you some prices with some nice value here. First one we're looking at is the number 2, B-Bow. B-Bow is exiting a couple races going 1 mile and 70 yards. And now we'll cut back to a 6 furlong sprint. It's a $5,000 non-winners of 2 race. And there is very little other proven speed in here at the sprint distance. So I think that the 2 B-Bow, just kind of by process of elimination, could be kind of close in here. Now, let's look at him, or I keep saying him. Let's look at her overall, B-Bow. Her first 3 races were all on a sloppy track at Oaklawn. We don't even know really how fast early on she is, because since then we've seen her forwardly placed in both of those races. She may be a little faster than we think. She just may not have liked the sloppy racetrack. That's very valid. It's very likely. Also, the races where it was a sloppy racetrack, those were in tougher spots. She was facing Arkansas breds, but she was facing maiden special weights and higher level maiden claimers. This is a 5,000 non-2 race where the 1 hasn't shown any speed in any of her 8 starts early on. The 3, Martique Miss, we haven't seen any type of early speed recently at all, and she's cutting back from going a little farther. Hit 'em Up has not shown much speed at all recently. I think the key to the race might be the 5 Can Cutie, because she's actually coming out of some of the quicker races, just some of the sprint races. So she could by default just be on the lead if she's sitting in the same spots where she's been sitting recently. I don't really have many knocks on her in this field. I just prefer the 2 because you're going to get better value there. The 2 is lightly raced with more upside. I think we can be more forgiving. You look at Can Cutie, who's just 1 for 13 overall, 1 for 10. Some of these races, she doesn't really have as many excuses as you can look at the 2 and go, okay, those first 3 races were all in the slop. Then she wins. And then last time out, she's forwardly placed in a race and she just sort of stops. And now she's going to cut all the way back. 3rd start off the long layoff for a barn who's been awesome all meet, a jockey who's been really good all meet. They've been teaming up and hitting in around like 29, 30% with big sample sizes too. We're not talking about just a few. And then, continuing to go through the field, Wait on Me isn't that fast early. Bell Pepper isn't that fast early. Again, another one who maybe just will be a little closer in here because there's not much other speed. And then you have Kaylee Shadow, who maybe just because she's coming out of 5.5 race, again, she could be close up. I really think the 2 is in a good spot here with some upside. Sneaky form overall, can be forgiving about some of those races. That's the number 2, B-Bow, who is 8-1 on the morning line. If we can get anything over 7-2, I think that's fair. And then moving to race number 4, maiden $5,000 claimers going 7 furlongs on the dirt. I'm going to go to the number 7 in here. She's My Smoke Show. I would be surprised if she's this high just based on the connections with Jose Guerrero and with Shane Wilson. And from the outside, she has really good speed. She's going to cut back from mile to 7, and she's going to drop in class down to the maiden 5,000 level, so she'll hit a career low. Inside of her, when she's coming off of a race on paper, was on a muddy track. 2 starts back, she was on a good turf course. And then prior to that, she's facing just a lot tougher. And the one thing she's shown us in almost all of her races is speed, with a very good speed rider and a perennial leading trainer here. I think she's hard to leave out of all of your exotics. Going through the rest of the field, the 1 Lexington Diamond comes off of a good effort last time out, but Guerrero's going to go and ride for Wilson as expected. And I feel like She's My Smoke Show will be able to get out of the gate early, sort of look over, see what's everyone doing, and then Jose can figure out when to push the button. 10-1 on the morning line. If we can get anything over, I kind of had her like way down in like the 7-2-ish range too. So I think sometimes that's what you have to do, right? Because sometimes in your own head, you have to make a value line and you're going to be right and you're going to be wrong sometimes. So for me, I think she's shorter in here. So if she is shorter, then if she's anything above that, that represents a lot of value to me if she is in this 10-1 range. And sometimes you're just dead wrong, but that's what you have to do. You got to bet on yourself when you feel like there might be a difference. So I think she'll come down a little bit. Anything over 7-2, we'll be riding on She's My Smoke Show. That's on Monday over at Louisiana Downs. Best of luck this week at LAD. Every day there's racing at Louisiana. I'll send in a video over there with a couple best bets. We'll always have a few plays early on the podcast. That's what G said. And we hope you will tune in, spread the word. Anyone that you know likes to play the races at Louisiana Downs, let them know. And we will have even more content coming on their big days. In the next few weeks, we will have some guests joining us to talk about maybe a pick 4 and pick 5 sequence. So more to come from Louisiana Downs. Good luck on Monday.